Hi, everybody, and welcome to today's Wisdom Wednesdays. I am Patrina Wisdom, your Fresh Start Specialist and CEO founder of Mindful Living, Inc. And today we're going to talk about awakening sanity. Why, you ask? Because as an entrepreneur, single mom, leader, expert in my field, we all experience times where things get a little bit rough. We have challenges, we have emotional dips, we have shifts that are happening in our lives. And what do you do in those times of need? I kind of pride myself on being that person who holds space for everyone else. And it's so important for us to have tools in place and also community in place to support us when we're having a rough time. So me specifically. And I'm so grateful that I do have those things in place. So I wanted to share with you today 3 tips to awakening sanity. When we have shifts in our lives and when we have dips, it's really easy to beat yourself up and judge yourself. And one of the things that I've learned really that has gotten me through a lot of different challenges in my life is a concept that I call sacred self-care, which is actually the 3rd step in my 6-step wisdom system. So I thought today was so befitting to share a message of awakening sanity with you, just to give you some tools, some techniques, and also to stress the importance of community and really having people around you that can hold space for the leaders in the world, right? For the motivators, for the people who are that model and the person that everyone else is looking up to. So with that, let's jump into our 3 powerful tips for awakening sanity. Powerful tip number 1 for today is have compassion for yourself. Life can get crazy and things don't always go as planned, but you have to learn to be flexible and you have to have compassion for yourself. If you don't have compassion for yourself, no one else will. So take the time that you need to process and to regroup whatever's going on in your life, whatever shifts, whatever emotions are coming up. One of the really big lessons for me is that in the past, I wanted so much to be perfect and show up, as that savior for everyone else, that I wasn't showing up as a savior for myself. And as much work as I've done around that, and as much as I've worked with clients around that, it still is something that creeps up every now and then and tries to suck me back. But it's so important for us to have compassion for ourselves, to let go of that, perfectionist and that need to be so perfect and show up so perfectly in your life, and to really learn to love yourself unconditionally and take care of yourself first so that you can show up more powerfully for others. And those of you who are leaders and spiritual leaders and coaches and parents, you totally understand where I'm coming from. The more that we give, the more that we can get depleted, and we have to learn how to manage our own energy. So powerful tip number 2 for today is to put sacred self-care into your schedule. So step 3 of my 6-step wisdom system is sacred self-care. I've got a whole unit designed just on this subject. And I'm so dedicated to sacred self-care that I've built an entire retreat around the concept. I do it twice a year. It's a 2-day event, and it's absolutely transformational. And it's such important tools that we need to take into our everyday lives. It's a reminder that we are the most important relationship in our life, and that we really have to pour into ourselves first so that we can actually serve from our overflow, as Lisa Nichols says. I know, and sometimes it doesn't get easy. Like, life gets crazy and things get away from us. Our schedules get away from us. I mean, how many times have you gone through your entire week and you're like, holy crap, it's Friday already, and maybe you've done nothing for yourself. So I say put sacred self-care into your schedule. Right? I literally know that at 8 o'clock in the evenings when my kids go to bed, that's my time to decompress, put on my music, burn my incense, and really just have some time with myself. On Fridays, I typically schedule out my sacred self-care day, and I know that my mini breakdown yesterday was because I haven't been taking care of myself. So not only am I an expert and a model in what sacred self-care looks like, but I also want to model to you that it's okay to fall off sometimes as long as you recognize it and you pick yourself back up. So put sacred self-care in your schedule, commit to your sacred self-care, and then like step number 1 said, or tip number 1, have compassion for yourself if you happen to get off track. But recognize that that is the reason that you're being thrown into your emotional cycle, and that will be the tool that pulls you out of it. And our final tip for today is quiet the critic. Fall into unconditional love for yourself. Release all judgment, all expectation, and learn to forgive yourself when you make mistakes. And that sometimes is hard, right? Especially as a leader, because we put so much pressure on ourselves. I know I do. I'll speak for myself. I put so much pressure on myself to be, the model of what it looks like to live an awakened life and to be a leader and to be a mom and to have it all, because that's what I'm passionate about. But what I also need to express to you is that that's not always the easiest road, that I do have bad days and that I am human. So, I've learned with a lot of the tools that I teach how to move more gracefully through those challenges, but they do occur. And so I want to share those tools and tips. I want to share more with you when I'm having those down days, and I'm learning how to really reach out to my community and get that support, right? As well as being there to support them. It's a give and take, right? The energy flow, ebbs and flows. So, I'm just really excited about learning to accept the fact that I am also human. Go figure. As a matter of fact, I have this amazing awakening sacred self-care community. And up until this point, it's been a closed community for people who have attended my sacred self-care retreat. And just recently, I put it out to the group to find out if they would be okay with us opening it up to the public and inviting more of you to engage in that sacred self-care community. And this is a very powerful community because we're holding each other accountable for keeping ourselves the stars of our lives. We're celebrating the fact that we've upheld our commitment to our own personal sacred self-care. And we are also building a bond that's unbreakable, a bond that's not only enriching our personal lives, but enriching our business lives, where we're showing up for each other, we're supporting each other, we're cheering each other on. And it's been super powerful for the group. So now, that's my big announcement for today, is that I'm opening up this group, Awakening Sacred Self-Care Community, on Facebook. So if you're not already connect with me on Facebook, Patrina Wisdom, and join my group, Awakening Sacred Self-Care Community. It's awesome, and I can't wait to meet you, talk to you, chat with you, support you, learn more about what's going on and how you're impacting the world. And that wraps up our Wisdom Wednesdays for today. I want to thank you not only for tuning in, weekly to this Wisdom Wednesdays, but also for holding space for me right now in my moment of vulnerability and total transparency about, what I experienced yesterday. I really appreciate that, and I'm learning to embrace that, and I really want to invite you to do the same. So I will see you next week, same time, same place, right here on Wisdom Wednesdays. Bye.